Thank you for joining. Welcome to today's episode of Let There Be Teachers series. Um, I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Let There Be Teachers series. There's so much that we have learned, and there's so much that we need to learn. And I am trusting that this evening our speakers will do justice to the topic. We're looking at how we can leverage on technology. That's a topic that we cannot exhaust quite easily. So I'd like to thank you for joining this evening. This month has been quite feeling has been quite. I don't know what to say, but I have read a lot in the course of this series that we've started at the beginning of the month. Speakers have been amazing. The things that they've talked about, I will have to really sit down after this and look at all of these things. So it's been a month of learning for me and for everyone that has been participating since we started this series. At the very beginning of the series, we started with Rhoda Odigbo, who explored the concept of contextualizing curriculum, how we can make the curriculum relatable. I'd like to thank those that are joining us right now. Mrs. Okeifu Ajayi, thank you so much for being here. And my boss, Sky, thank you. And Sheyi Olateju, thank you everyone for joining. I'm sure our speakers will join us pretty soon. And once they join, we will start immediately because we do not want to waste your time in any way. But trust me, you will leave this meeting refreshed. You will leave here highly fulfilled. The concept of technology has been on the news for quite a while, especially because of the pandemic that struck everyone last year. That has, in a way, changed how we perceive education in Nigeria. And so, the teacher or the Nigerian teachers do not have any other reason not to be digitally proficient. We have to, everybody has to get to a point where there is virtually anything you can do without technology. So this evening, we'll be talking about how we can leverage, how we can leverage on technology to be better teachers. And also, Hilda will be talking about creating a brand for the teacher. And this is one topic that has been at the very core of what I do or what I represent as a teacher. You see people in other professions and you see how they carry themselves. You see how they represent the profession. But when you see people in the teaching profession, the story is outwardly different. So teachers need to create a brand for themselves in their appearance, in the way they speak. Thankfully, we had Mr. Peter Piper talking about developing your communication skills last week or 2 weeks ago. So there is a brand that the teachers need to create for themselves. We need to create a brand for ourselves so that when people see us, they will want to be a part of the profession. And trust me, it is not about money. It is not about the salaries that teachers are collecting. It's a change of mindset. And Mrs. Ajayi Okeifu, I asked how to pronounce this name last week. I hope she's not with me right now because she's online. She talked about mindset last week, and that is something very key. The teacher mindset has to be changed. We have to have a new kind of thinking, because most times we tend to tilt towards salary. We tend to tilt towards, oh, okay, the money we're collecting is not enough. That's why we appear like this. You don't necessarily need a lot of money to look good. You don't. And so the teachers, the Nigerian teachers, have to create a brand for themselves. We need to have a brand. You see, I do not want to jump into talking about this, but when I met Hilda, sometimes I think 2019, and she shared her story, I was happy that someone she came from the banking sector. She resigned from the banking sector and decided to become a teacher and decided to follow her passion. So it just gives me this gladness of heart that we have people like that in this profession, and we can have more people that are in the profession not for the money but for the passion for what they represent. So this evening we will have Hilda to talk about how we can create a brand. She has an platform, the Cool Teacher. Teachers have to be cool. So please just send me a request so that you can join, so that we can start this conversation. And of course, we'll have Elvis Boniface. When I read through his profile, that guy is amazing. He has done so much in education, and we're privileged to have him this evening. And we will be talking about leveraging on technology. The world is changing. Our world is constantly changing, and the teachers must change. We must change the narrative, and it is our responsibility to do that. Nobody's going to do that for us. People in other professions won't do that for us. We have to take the responsibility to make the change happen. And so we'll be concept of leveraging on technology. I already have my guest in the house right now. Hilda, I'd like to welcome you to this meeting as we share the teacher brand.